Welcome back to another episode of Gluttons for Geekdom.
Welcome back indeed, sir. Very good to see you sitting across from me. Those keeping up, we did not have Mr. Bobby Deuce last week. We had Mr. Roy Lazarowitz on our special Kevin Smith episode.
I was very sad not to be there.
I had a lot of fun with my old friend Roy, but sitting across from you cannot not change anything, sir. It's just a one-of-a-kind experience, and I'm happy to have you back.
Thank you.
I want to talk some Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
We're going to get to there. We have some other stuff, but...
Yeah. All right, so, let's get to this other news. Then we'll talk about the Game of Thrones.
So good. Sad news, actually. Mm-hmm. Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder are coming to their end on Batman. Mm-hmm. I'm not all the way done with it, but it's been good stuff. They were the new 52. They gave us the new Batman. Of the current continuities of Batman. And it's good. The first thing that he does is bring in the Court of Owls. Awesome. I love it.
Like an ending to something. The way our West Coast, not West Coast, but Western society is that we just throw something out there and we just let it run until it dies.
Beat the horse until it's dead.
Yeah.
And then continue to hit it.
Yes, when something has an ending, it's complete, it's a final, it's a good story, and that's how it's meant to be. It's not just, they don't throw it out there and just let it go and then it just fizzles out. No, this is going to end at some point. There's going to be it rises, falls, climax, all that type of stuff. It's
in terms of the whole story arc, because I think on terms of everything they've done, they're still on top. They're still number one. I mean, they've done really, really great stuff.
Rocking.
Scott Snyder, in my opinion, because he started off before he did this, he was on Detective Comics and having fun with that.
Yarp.
Just does a good Batman. Just tells a story that I want to hear from a guy that I love, whose name is Bruce Wayne. I mean, he does very well, and then Greg Capullo, sick.
Yes.
He's sick. And one of the things that I actually heard on Fat Man on Batman that I didn't really notice until he said it, and then I started watching, is how he draws the cowl and how he plays with it to be either a silky piece or one piece, and just the straight matte black of it. And something when you look through and you really look at Batman's cowl and face, you're just like, wow, yeah, it is very distinctive, and I very much like the way he's doing this. He makes it just sound really, or not sound, makes it look just really good.
Interesting.
That's not him.
Yeah, I'm looking at well, you have the new 52 up there.
That's Jim Lee, though.
Oh, gay bones.
But it's I'm happy to. I'm excited to see who's next. Happy to see them go. Like you said, let's stay on top, end in a good place, because it needs to end. I mean, they have to end it.
Definitely.
So I'm happy and sad at the same time. But something to be happy about is that 8 years ago Iron Man came out. So it's technically the Marvel Cinematic Universe's birthday.
8 years ago today?
Yeah, that's what the internet tells me. And if it's on the internet, it must be true.
The internet.
Bonjour. Remember that commercial?
No. No, I don't.
Let's say it came out in 08, though. May 2nd. Yeah, May 2nd, 08.
Oh, wait, really?
So it's 8 years. Yeah, May 2nd, 08.
I always pictured that movie being a lot older than that.
Yeah, no, we're only 8 years into this, sir.
I feel like a dumbass.
Well, they've just pumped out so much.
They have done that. And it's like year after year after year, another new Marvel
They found the formula, and God bless Jon Favreau.
They're doing very well for themselves.
Jon Favreau came out with that Iron Man movie and set the tone for the entire... I mean, everything that they're doing right now all stems from that tone.
Yeah.
So Jon Favreau, we salute you. Whatever you did with Iron Man 2... I'm happy you seem to have fun and got to make the movie that you really wanted to make. Happy for that.
Awesome, because thinking back about it, like, what are the biggest names in the Marvel Universe before all of this movie stuff started to happen?
I think that the number one Marvel book has always been Spider-Man.
Yes.
And then after that, it'd be the X-Men.
Yes.
In terms of Marvel books, it's their two biggest franchises that they had to go and sell
and those
to stay afloat.
weren't the things that started this Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, they couldn't. They were owned by then.
Yeah, but they didn't make this. They didn't make all these movies popular. These movies weren't like, yeah, sure.
Nobody gave a shit about Iron Man as much as they do today because Robert Downey Jr. gave him a heart.
Well, because the whole yes, exactly. The whole thing is that they made so many good choices with these movies of characters that haven't had their own movies, and Spider-Man is struggling. X-Men, they're doing their own thing, but they've had flops as far as movies go. Now, we talk about like Iron Man and Thor, Avengers, all that type of stuff. Even like the Incredible Hulk, they even threw him out there before all this Iron Man stuff got started, and he wasn't doing well either. With these movies that have come out, they made superhero movies like the thing now. Like every movie that comes out is a superhero movie.
Today's Western, yeah.
Yes, that's it. Boom, superhero movie. This, boom, superhero movie. That.
Yeah, if you look at the lineup for just what we're going to get in the next 4 years, or the next 2 years, it's 12 movies or so, something like that. It's a crazy amount.
It's ridiculous. And Iron Man started it all. Iron Man was a fantastic movie. I enjoyed the shit out of that shit.
I could still, it's very hard to find anything wrong with that movie.
Yeah.
It's so good, but I'm not sure if it is my favorite.
No, not at all.
Because I think that I'm going to have to be the kid that I was growing up. If you listen, you remember me saying, I always enjoyed watching or buying Justice League and Avengers books because of me being a frugal fuck and wanting to get all my heroes in one place, and that's what I got with Avengers. And that first spin, when Banner comes in and of course gives the line that will utter in fanboy history for the rest of forever, as far as I'm concerned. Cap is standing there, Bruce or Mr. Banner, I think it's a good time to get angry. And fucking awesome Mark Ruffalo turns around, gives this look, and that's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry. And then that one swift, and like all the Shatari start going fucking crazy. They're like, oh my god, we might be in trouble.
And then he just
and there's that line up,
his fucking mind.
And then it's them circled back to back, and the camera going around them, and you see the fucking Avengers on the screen. So I think for that moment, moment, I think there are other movies that are better but can't be my favorite because of that. Because I remember that feeling of seeing them all there. I remember sitting in the theater and I'm always angry. And that turn and then that scene right after and just going, dreams do come true. Like,
this is how I look at it. I was never a fan of Captain America. I thought he was kind of just Captain America. He's like Marvel Superman without being Superman.
He's the Boy Scout.
Yeah, he's the Boy Scout, but he doesn't have like all the powers and stuff.
I agree.
Sure, he might do awesome stuff in his comics, but there's nothing that draws me to his comics. In that movie, he was doing some awesome shit. And when they're over here on the plane and stuff, what's his fucking face? The plane was in like just tatters and stuff. He's trying to help somebody do something. Was it?
Are you talking about Avengers or?
Yes, in Avengers. That's when he first. Yeah, that's when that's what put him on the map for me.
Oh, not even his first movie, the first Avenger. You had to.
I'm talking about the Avengers movie. Okay. Yes, that's what he's like. Because I thought the first Captain America movie was pretty cool, but he wasn't doing the stuff that he was doing in Avengers. Mm-hmm. So in that movie, when they had attacked the plane, the Hulk was already the Incredible Hulk. He changed outside of his own free will, so he's all like, mad and everything. He's tearing shit apart. Who was he? He was working with somebody.
Natasha, maybe? Was he working with the Widow? Cap.
Yes, he was with Captain America. They were on the outside near the outside of the plane. Was it Tony Stark?
Or maybe that too. They all worked together.
Yes, they were
the Avengers.
In that one scene right there, someone was trying to throw a grenade at somebody, and Captain America jumps across the gap and slaps the grenade away. I was like, yeah, what is that about? Grenade slap.
That's when he's helping in the bank, maybe. He's helping.
No, he's on the carrier.
Okay.
That happens. That's
Oh, no. See, you're Okay, the Hulk is not. No, the Hulk got changed. Okay, no, where you are isn't at the finale. That's why I can't. I'm thinking about the finale.
No, I'm talking about when the Hulk changes.
Now I
against
understand.
His own will.
Iron Man is inside the propeller trying to get that shit going again.
Yes.
One of the evil men who traveled to it with Barton, delivering ammunition and weapons, ma'am, comes up, throws a grenade to hit Tony Stark. Nope. Yes, you're right. Steve Rogers comes up,
slaps
that shit away. Yeah.
That was cool.
Okay, now I'm with you. That took a while, but I'm here. Sorry.
Yes.
I got stuck at the finale.
That was a fantastic scene. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the finale. I'm talking about all the stuff that happened with Captain America as he's going on. So I thought that was pretty fucking cool. I just thought like him jumping across over here, Michael Jordan pose, and he just slaps a grenade out of the air. Boom, Captain America. That was cool. Another scene that I liked him in was I like to call it the shield tuck. That's when he goes into the bank.
That's the thing I thought you were just
he goes into the
about.
bank. There's a shit ton of Chitauri in there. A grenade falls down, and he looks at it.
Lots of grenade work for Captain America in this movie, apparently.
Yeah, lots of grenade work. He looks at the grenade. The Chitauri like, oh shit, this thing's gonna go off. He jumps up and tucks himself behind his shield. Gets launched outside of the fucking building. Lands in a car. He's like, Captain America. Shield tuck. My favorite thing of
that is
the shield is just impervious to all types of stuff, and he's just like, let me just get behind this. Let me jump up and get behind this, and it launches him out of the window.
He definitely does cool stuff in Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah,
we're talking about how he does cool stuff in the Avengers. Mm-hmm. He does his best work in his second solo movie, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Oh my god!
Where that opening scene of
him
he just jump out of a plane without a parachute. Yeah. Jumps in and him just fucking parkouring it down the...
Definitely.
My. That's got some great moments in it, too, of just like, did he really just do that? And not even for a second, I'm like, that's not possible.
No, it's Captain America. He's just so boss.
And Chris Evans is also just so ripped and has the perfect body in the fact that even though I know Captain America is a super soldier, the things he does in the movie, it looks like Chris Evans' body could actually take it. Mm-hmm. Super soldier or not, I believe that Chris
Evans as Captain America.
Correct.
Chris Evans is Steve Rogers. I believe him.
Not Johnny Flame? Or Johnny Torch?
Oh, he was so good as that too, but
then he also traveled.
He delivers.
Scott Pilgrim, so he actually travels between three worlds.
Yes, but he delivers a very, very convincing Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
But he also delivers a very, very convincing...
I think that his last line in Captain America, the first one of I had a date, or I had dancing, it's just like...
But I had a date.
Yeah. That's a big one. It's just like, oh, yep, that's him. There's Steve Rogers.
I guess he can act.
Yeah, really. Mm-hmm. Doing great.
But yeah, if you want to bring up Scott Pilgrim, I thought he was fantastic in that. I think he was just hilarious.
It's funny that you say that word hilarious, because there is the scene, where the fake stuntmen are quote unquote beating up Scott Pilgrim off screen as Chris Evans, the real one, walks away and he's looking down and he's typing on his phone and he goes, that's funny. And he takes a few more steps, puts his phone, he's not looking at his phone anymore. He goes, that's actually hilarious. And it's just, I love that. And then, hey, and he turns around and Scott Pilgrim has actually beat up all of his
stunt doubles and stuff.
Can you do one of those grind thingies on this? I like that. I like that movie.
You do one of those thingies on
Captain America is in it, and Superman's in it, too.
Yeah, it's called a grind, bro. Yes.
Brandon Routh's in it.
The Superman that...
Super vegan powers.
The Superman that is...
No longer Superman.
Yeah, we don't...
He got it once. We don't
He's I'm sorry, but Henry Cavill's got the Superman right now. He's doing well with it.
That chin.
I support him.
It's all in the chin.
I support him.
His chin can support us.
Yeah, I actually watched Man of Steel the other day. I'm just like, I am behind it.
I love it.
Yeah, I am behind it.
Have you ever seen the meme? And in my opinion, it is the best superhero meme ever.
Go on.
It's two pictures, one on top of the other. The first is just Where's Waldo? Just a fun page of Where's Waldo.
Mm-hmm.
And the one under it is Michael Shannon with the big ass gash down the right side of his face screaming, I will find him. Oh my God, that just gets me in a place because I fucking could never find that Waldo son of a bitch. And that's how I feel looking at it. You know, he's calm. It's like, I'll find him. I will find him. I will find him. And like that's how I feel. Like it fucking elevates every time because where the fuck is that stripe? Oh, anyway, 8 years the MCU. We have many, many, many more ahead of us, but 8 years strong. 8 years strong.
Are you gonna go with the original Avengers as being your favorite?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I
can't. I didn't even ask you.
Damn it, that sucks because it's the same thing for me. I can't get. That's my Marvel movie of today, like pop in Avengers, and I'm ready to watch it 100%. I mean, Age of Ultron was awesome. I am fully behind Winter Soldier. I didn't see the second Thor movie, but the first one I enjoyed. The first Captain America I enjoyed, so I'm like, yeah, You
didn't see the second Thor? I'm sorry.
No, I haven't.
Dark World?
No.
Watchable. Good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, out of all of them, it doesn't stand at the top of my list. I am kind of excited for Ragnarok, but Thor, kind of the opposite of what you were saying earlier, and the fact that Robert Downey Jr. and this boom has brought me to love Iron Man more, especially in the comics. Mm-hmm. Hasn't really done much for me for Thor. Thor for me is always just like, okay, Thor's here, thank you. I don't really need to know what Thor's doing. Otherwise, Thor's an Avenger guy for me. If he's not in the event, I don't think I've...
Unfortunately, him being in the movies makes him seem less of a god to me.
Yeah. It's like the same thing when Thor's on Asgard. It's like everybody's like... Thor is stronger than everybody, but it's like, in a sense, them just being stronger than each other is like mortals being stronger than each other. So when he's at Asgard, he's just like everybody else.
In my opinion,
basically.
Like what I feel is like they're not really gods. They're just a different race of just beings.
Aliens.
And they have, they're aliens, and they have certain things that it's like what makes Thor stronger than all the other Asgardians is just their technology. Mjolnir is just another form of technology that he uses. His outfit, his armor is just technology.
We just don't understand yet.
Yes, it's their technology. We call it magic, but it's their technology. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we call it magic. You call it science. I come from a place where they're one and the same.
Yes.
See, like that whole explanation and him drawing the giant tree and stuff, that was a good scene in that movie.
That was awesome.
And I think right after that is when he tries to lift Mjolnir and he can't, and you see that desperation in Chris Hemsworth's face, and you're like, boy can act again.
And that in that scene,
cool.
it makes it seem like it's magic. So I'm just like, okay, well, what is actually going on there with their technology where he just can't lift that right now?
Speaking of technology, let's use it in the sense that we on this earth use it, in the fact that somebody built a Mjolnir with a fingerprint, a thumb recognizer, and put a giant electromagnet in it.
So it shocks you whenever you pick it up?
No, so when he puts it down on the ground, it's magnetized, and the only way to turn the magnet off in Mjolnir is with a thumbprint. So only one person can lift it. Everybody else, it will not lift off the ground.
How does that even work? How's that magnet even that strong?
Oh, well, he puts it on something that's built into the earth to magnet. It's not electrically or electromagnetically
so he can't
to the earth's pole or to its
he
core.
He can't put it anywhere. He has to put it on
his own plate. Yeah, okay.
Duh.
That's a big point to leave out, but still pretty cool. He puts it down in a place and nobody fucking else can pick it up. I mean, it's...
Yeah, no one can...
unless he has an evil twin.
It was someone's... Like the... Incredible Hulk in that Avengers movie. Was it Ultimate Avengers, where he just picks up Thor's hammer?
End up picking it up
and chucks it in Thor's face. No, it's the animated movie.
Yeah. But also Thor is wonky in that version. Thor's not really a Norse god. Thor's a guy, when we meet him in those movies, he's on a boat fighting whalers, drinking ale out of a giant barrel. And he's got his hammer isn't Mjolnir in the sense that it's an axe on one side, which is fucking badass to me. I enjoy that.
Yeah. I have to watch that movie again. But all I know is that Thor picks up Mjolnir and he just chucks it at No, Hulk picks up Mjolnir and he chucks it at Thor, and Thor's just pretty much, all right, I'm just gonna sit out the rest of this fight. I got hit in the head with my own hammer. Ow.
Those are both solid movies, Ultimate Avengers 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. And I'm surprised that they're not cropping up a little bit more, just like, especially now with Civil War coming out and introducing T'Challa and the Black Panther, because Ultimate Avengers 2 is the same fucking thing. It's a T'Challa story, and I was just surprised that they're not on more, because if you look on HBO and Stars and stuff like that, they're killing. They are running the DC animated universe hard right now. I mean, Batman Year 1, Batman, Dark Knight Part 1 and 2, they're on all the damn time. I'm surprised that even on Netflix, they're not showing more of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I guess Marvel doesn't want to pay for it either. You know, we've got live action. Why do we have to pay to shove cartoons down people's throats?
I've talked about this with you before. It's like DC, as far as their live action universe goes, it's lacking. Marvel is
not getting too much traction.
Marvel is holding the monopoly on that one market right there.
Oh yes,
DC, their animated movies are leagues beyond Marvel's. Like, I haven't watched an animated movie of Marvel that I'm just like, damn, that was fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ultimate Avengers that we're talking about, they stand up, they're good, but they're not fan-fucking-tastic.
I can sit there and I can enjoy them, but I'm not like, yo, that was crazy. Yeah. I will never sit there and, like, recommend the Ultimate Avengers movie to anybody. But to the day I die, I will be like, have you seen Under the Red Hood? You need to see Under the Red Hood. That shit was golden.
Flashpoint Paradox is one.
Oh my god!
I would agree that I'll go Red Hood first, but Flashpoint Paradox.
Flashpoint Paradox. That's nice. That's fan-fucking-tastic. I was actually a little put off by how fucking ridiculous Wonder Woman was. I was like, okay, you know what? I can't.
Cutting Mira's head off and shit. Ooh. Spoilers.
Stabbing fucking what's his face?
Shazam.
Billy Batson. I'm just
yes,
a tiny little kid. I'm just like, no.
One of the Shazam kids. Yep.
Oh,
he did.
Whoa, this might be a little too tough for me right now. I might need to
take a break. Yes.
I'm pausing. I'll come back later. This is pretty rough. That shit was tough. DC is doing their damnedest to put their fingers right on the map as far as animated universe goes. What else we got?
I don't even really think it's news. The Flash director, Seth Grahame-Smith, he walked. They had creative differences.
Why?
The internet will only give you as far as creative differences.
That's gay.
It's silly. I mean, it's a big opportunity, but I'm sure, both people have. Unfortunately, what I think nobody ever wants to see again is a Fantastic Four. And the fact that it just seems that this Fox studio and the director, whose name escapes me, he makes it seem as if he made one movie and the Fox made it into another. Mm-hmm. That there was just no leeway. It just sounded like a very bad situation going on.
Okay.
So I think that at least in that sense, it was smart that he got out while he could. Because what was the other movie that we just heard on comicbook.com? We were listening to their review. BD, Brandon Davis being all awesome, giving us a great news update.
Fantastic show.
If you can't listen to ours, which you should always listen to ours, like let's not get too hasty, but comicbook.com.
Just listen to ours.
But anyway, he was said, who was the other director that got really far into a movie and ended up getting it pulled? Like at the very end, got like deep in. Another comic book movie, but it doesn't matter. He's gone, and now the big thing that was stemming off that is James Wan is leaving too, because people need shit to write about, so he left. And James Wan, are you leaving? And no, he's not.
Okay,
definitive. Let's just leave it at that. James Wan is still the director for the Aquaman, for Aquaman. Flash, Seth Grahame-Smith, we don't know. We know that he's not there. We do not have a Not casting? Do you cast a director? No, you hire a director. Rehiring? A redirecting? I don't know.
The director is making the movie, so you just, you ask somebody to do it, I would guess.
So you hire.
You hire, yeah. You don't cast. He's like, how do you cast a director?
I don't know. That's what I'm fucking asking. I don't know. Civil War, $200 million already. $200 fucking million. $200 million. Already hasn't even hit here.
theaters yet.
When are you going?
Oh, we know where we're going.
Oh, we know when we're going. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I was happy to get tickets quite some time ago. And I'm happy enough to report that I'm going Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday.
Friday, I'm going to go to work doing my normal day bullshit, try to get out. And Friday night, I believe, is 7:30. And then we go the next morning at 9:30.
9:30. This Saturday.
This very Saturday coming up.
I'm seeing a movie.
Yeah?
Yay.
Right now it's a Monday. By the time people hear it, it'll probably be a Thursday. So 2 days after that, I will have seen Civil War twice. You will have seen it. And hopefully we can jump on here and just get out a good 20-minute spoiler-free. We will go spoiler-free at first. But give everybody a chance.
Yes, I agree. Okay,
give it a 20-minute kind of half hour. Wow, this is all awesome. Spoiler free, and then be warned after that. Spoilers at the ass.
I'm gonna let you guys know that I probably will have a bloody mouth from biting my lip.
True, but we will spoiler free for you. So look forward to that fun little 20-minute. I can't wait. I literally cannot wait. From everything I've heard, we're in for it. We are in for a rootin' tootin' good time, man. Just Kevin Smith said it was one of the best movies I've ever seen. His co-host Mark Bedardin agreed. Both gentlemen who I take very seriously. They both said. I mean, I've heard other people. John Favreau gave a thumbs up. I mean, everybody's just saying that this movie
I've been trying my hardest not to get hyped for this movie. I just want to get in there and watch it and just be like, and just rise as the movie is going on.
Sounded like your soul was rising from you.
Yeah. I don't want to get excited for the movie. I don't like getting excited for movies because I don't want to be let down. But
I don't think we have any chance, not even an iota of
being let down.
No, I really think they're going to nail this. Have you seen it? The one thing, and this is a little spoiler, if you're trying to stay completely away from the movie, like I was. I couldn't make it. I got trapped in a TV spot. And spoiler for you, maybe
you were just banging on walls. I can't get out. This TV spot has got me trapped in.
No.
Damn you, TV
No, I was just weak-willed. It said, watch new clip with Winter Soldier and Spider-Man. And I was like, fuck yes. Do you know which clip I'm talking about?
No.
All right, if you don't want to hear 3, 2, 1, Spider-Man catches a punch from the Winter Soldier. Catches it, and as he's turning his arm, is looking at his left arm, Winter Soldier's, which is, of course, his robot arm. He goes, whoa, dude, you got a metal arm? That's awesome.
Fantastic. Oh, my God, I'm so excited.
I know.
Shit, fuck you. Fuck you, Nick. Fuck you, Nick. I don't want to get excited.
We only have to wait a few days, though, man.
How dare you? How dare you, Vern?
4 days you have to wait. I only have to wait 3.
I made it so far without getting excited for this movie.
Yeah, I know.
And now I'm just like, yay!
It's going to be so good.
You ass. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
High
Thank you and fuck you at the same time. I know. It's such a bridge. Because like I said, I didn't want to see it. I can't even imagine the excitedness that I would have had in the theater if I saw that. But I'm just a mortal man, sir. I saw Winter Soldier and Spider-Man watch here, and I was like, okay, it can't be that good. I can't be spoiling too much, and I did. And it's my lesson, and I will learn. But, other things I have stayed away from.
Spider-Man so much. Like, I was so excited to see that trailer where he's
one where we first saw
he's like,
him.
he's going to be in this movie? I've been burned by... Spider-Man on a silver screen so much. But Spider-Man, how do I
and the expressive eyes. I mean, it's all in his eyes. Mm-hmm. It's all in his eyes in that.
I just, like, the whole thing is, I was very apprehensive when I first saw Spider-Man being in a movie. Because, as I said, I've been burned by Spider-Man so much. In this new movie here, I'm like, okay, well, they're going to do it. They threw him in there, and I just felt like, oh, shit, is this going to turn into another Batman versus Superman where they just have so much going on, they're not making heads or tails of what they're doing? We don't know yet. We don't know yet at all. But if it's getting great reviews now...
We're set. We're good.
I might be getting excited.
Oh, I'm there. I need it. I need it in my life. Then what do we get after that? Is it X-Men? I'm pretty sure it's X-Men.
X-Men, there's still the Suicide Squad.
Well, that's later. That's
it is later, but I mean, it's still along the lines.
well, very next is X-Men. That's May. Mm-hmm. I count Ninja Turtles. I mean, I'm going to see that. You're going to go see Ninja Turtles. Bebop and Rocksteady.
Bebop and Rocksteady. That's right. That is true.
So, I mean, the first one I saw it, I liked it. Mm-hmm. Without the promise of Bebop and Rocksteady. I don't know if I'd go to the theater for the second one. I would eventually get around seeing it. Mm-hmm. But for the Rhino and the Pig, yep, I'm there with you guys.
There
Thank
you go.
Childhood. Krang's in it too, apparently.
Krang.
I mean, so I'm going to count that.
This is the cartoon, like Ninja Turtles.
I'm going to count that as June.
Dude.
And then August is Suicide Squad.
August is Suicide
And then the summer is quote-unquote over, and then I think we have to wait till November for Doctor Strange.
I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange.
But between then, so X-Men Apocalypse, what did you think? You know, again, to kind of circle back, comicbook.com, DB being awesome. He said that he didn't think that this X-Men Apocalypse, BD, I don't know what I keep saying. His name is Brandon Davis, awesome guy. He said that he didn't think X-Men Apocalypse is getting as much traction and as much... Hey guys, look over here. Hey guys, look over here. It's X-Men. Aren't you guys so excited for X-Men? I mean, you literally just screamed up a storm for Civil War.
It's not. It's not getting that.
And he used this. No, what the? Why?
It's an X-Men movie.
You think that we're just so saturated with X-Men?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, X-Men started out. X-Men was before. Like, if we're talking about the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
X-Men beat them by...
It's like it starts with, you know, Iron Man and the Avengers and stuff, and that's when Marvel is put on the map. That's when all their movies start to get good.
The Marvel, yeah.
Yes, X-Men is part of the Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk, Fantastic Four, sort of that area. Those characters that they can't really do.
They have Hulk.
No, I mean, like, those are the movies that were coming out before.
Oh, Hulk. Yes.
Yes. Hulk.
That eventually went back to Marvel, though.
I wasn't
X-Men still
I wasn't like, I love the Hulk so fucking much, but I wasn't gung-ho about the Incredible Hulk at all.
Well, that was Marvel's turn at it.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Ang Lee's Hulk? Or the I think Kevin...
Ang Lee's Hulk has the things that I like about it, and the Hulk with Edward Norton has its things that I like about it. But I didn't like either movie enough for it to be a Hulk movie for me.
Yeah, but talking about...
The first Hulk movie that I saw that I really enjoyed was Avengers.
Yeah. But before all the Avengers, you were saying, you know, X-Men, that was 2000.
Yes.
You know, I think we've explained before that back when Marvel was going broke, they had to sell off their properties, and that's why Fox has the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. No,
X-Men. Sony has Spider-Man. X-Men.
And they also had Ghost Rider, but Nicolas Cage ran that into the ground, and I think that went back. I think Marvel
he did his due duty. His due diligence.
He did something.
He's like, I think he purposely ran that into the ground so Marvel can get it back and they can do something better with it. Maybe.
That would be noble, and I wouldn't see it coming from him, but let's hope that's the truth. I want to believe that's the truth. But X-Men was back in 2000.
Yes.
That's really going on. So now we've had X-Men, X2, X3, Wolverine, the Wolverine, First Class, Days of Future Past. So, I mean, we are very saturated with some X-Men right now.
And the whole thing is that watching those past X-Men movie, X1, it didn't grab me so hard.
The original?
The original. I wasn't gung-ho about it. I enjoyed the movie, but I'm not going to be like, yo, pop at X-Men right now.
Oh, I was 10. I think I was 10 or 11 when that movie came out. And my parents have this very fond memory, and I do as well, of this toy that I used to have that would go about halfway up my forearm, would lock onto it. It was yellow with the blue fist with the 3 little things over my knuckles. Mm-hmm. And on the little side, if you push the widget up, 3 claws popped out.
Yes.
It was Wolverine. In X-Men, the animated series from the 90s, there is this very distinct moment where Cyclops, being Cyclops, walks up to Wolverine and won't let him go. And he's like, you can't go there. And Wolverine puts his hand up and snicked. 3 claws pop out and he goes, I go where I want to go. And my parents tell the story of little freaking 6-year-old Nick walking around with my claws. You know, it's time to go to bed. You have to go to bed. Nick, I go where I want to go. So now just explode that into Hugh Jackman and James Marsden and Halle Berry, Patrick Stewart, literally looking like that on the big screen, 11 years old. I couldn't have been more thrilled in my entire fucking life. I walked out of the Roosevelt Park movie theater, literally, snick, oh my God, Wolverine, like just fucking going crazy.
You said you were 10 years old, though.
Yeah. So as I grow up and I watch it now, I find it funny more than anything else in the fact that I just like looking at Hugh Jackman. And the fact that they haven't even tried to really say that, one, he's gained so much weight for this. Mm-hmm. If you look at Hugh Jackman in the first one, he's cut, but he's kind of more like, I'm a runner cut.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman.
You know, like I'm physically fit, but more in the fact that I'm lean and cut.
Yeah,
whereas now
like
he looks...
In the later movies, he is a huge act man.
And he's, you know, one of the things that he said that I thought was hysterical is he can't do Wolverine anymore because he can't stomach it because he literally just can't eat egg whites anymore. It's just that's all the man eats. That's how you stay fucking as giant as he is. If you look at him in the Wolverine, regardless of how much you don't want to look at the screen because of the movie and what's happening in it, in my opinion, dude's freaking giant and ripped. And his sideburns are ridiculously perfect, thin, trim, and bushy in the X-Men. It looks like a 15-year-old trying to grow sideburns for the first time. It's just kind of everywhere. So that's the kind of things that, you know, in a way make me happy because it was literally... A lot of people call it the first attempt. I know that Blades came out and they had previous movies in the 80s, but this was the first kind of revamp to literally say comic book characters.
Yeah.
Because Blade wears an outfit and a uniform, not really so much as a leotard, whereas even though the X-Men didn't do it in the movie, that's what they were known for. They were known for that. And Scott even says, what would you have preferred, yellow spandex? So we've come so far. But now it's kind of looking like, did we come far enough that people just don't give a shit anymore? And I don't think so. I just think I'm just playing devil's advocate this whole time. I think the movie's too far out. I think we've got too much going on right now. People are too excited for Civil War. And once it's over, boom, there comes everybody in line for X-Men.
Well, Marvel is actually making movies now. That's what they're doing. It's not somebody who... It's not like some other studio. It's not... This is not like a Batman forever type of deal where they're just, they're making a Batman movie? Cool, I'll see it. It's Batman. And it's not like you're going to see Batman or Batman Forever or Batman Returns and stuff. It's not Tim Burton doing something. And it's not like, you know, the Superman Returns where somebody is just like making a movie off of this one character right here. This is Marvel putting their product out there in movie format. Live action movie format. That's what changes this. That's what makes this whole era that we're living in different from how it used to be. Because, you know, X-Men, all of the X-Men movie, up until, like, okay, X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men 3, and then they came out with the Wolverine.
Origins.
X-Men Origins, or Wolverine. whatever the movie was called. Shit. That's what I call it, shit.
Deadpool fucked up.
Yeah,
Good thing they take him back. Yeah, you still have not seen Deadpool, have you?
No, it's not in theaters anymore.
That's true. Yeah, you are in the dead zone. Oh, the 10th.
That's when they come out.
8 days from now, you can have the DVD. We'll watch it. We'll do an episode because it's so worth it.
The fuck on that.
All right.
So yeah, that's like all those movies. They weren't Marvel movies. They were just somebody out there like, let's make a movie about.
What can we do with
this.
these characters?
Yes, let's use these characters and make a movie about it. Like, oh, sure, this just gets some, like, X-Men is pretty good. Let's make an X-Men movie. It's not Marvel doing something with their own characters, making a movie, just doing...
And then once they did
expanding on to another horizon.
And when they did that, you saw these other people kind of pull back and go, oh, let's kind of maybe copy them. Because the main thing that we saw in First Class is the fucking yellow and blue uniform.
But also, I mean, like, also...
They didn't look like Matrix characters anymore. They weren't just wearing all black, zipped up. They weren't afraid to shy away from the bright blue and yellow X-Men jumpsuits.
And they were new actors they threw in there.
Yeah.
James
Because they realize this old shit's not working. No, they
Michael
can't
Fassbender,
look like
all that type of shit. Like, new actors doing these.
Because Magneto's the only one who's got any sort of color in his costumes in X-Men through Origins Wolverine, and the fact that his helmet is purple tinged and the inside of his cape is red. But other than that, they all look like they just fell out of the Matrix. Just leather, black leather, boom. And if we don't see Hugh Jackman, either in Apocalypse or Old Man Logan, I don't care. If he's not wearing the yellow with the big brow kind of, if we don't see him as Wolverine, that would be kind of upsetting. That he went this whole time and did not literally get to wear the super suit that he was, in a way, like born to play, in a way that he, pun intended, clawed himself into by staying with it for year after year and movie after movie.
Whatever. Whatever.
Clawed himself into it.
Yeah. Sit your ass down. You silly fuck. Look at Wolverine's costume. Look right there. Look at that.
One, yeah. Arms are bare. Except for the gloves. It comes down into his gloves. But the big gun's just showing. He's got hairy-ass arms. The yellow, bright yellow, black coming in, red belt, blue things with the big... I love those boots, man, with the big things coming off the side. What would you even call those? Like, what, the flares coming off the side?
I guess.
What he definitely fucking grabs when he's pulling them on, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. And especially, I think, the 3 metal things over the knuckles. So whether the claws are out or not, you look at this man's knuckles and you think... More so than they're giant and big and bony and they could kill me. There's something more to these. Like, let's not fuck with that guy's hands.
I would say this. His old costume needs to be revamped for it to be in a movie. I would not be happy to see that in a movie.
To see what I just described?
Yes.
Yellow and all that? Really?
Because it would look silly to me.
Well, what about...
Think about Hugh Jackman wearing that costume.
Oh, I can. I do. I love it. I'll watch it.
It's like, okay, this is like one of my least favorite things is seeing Batman or Superman in a movie with their underwear outside of their spandex.
Yeah, you really do hate that.
I hate that so fucking much.
Have you ever seen that when they take Henry Cavill and they digitally put some on? Have you ever seen an image of that?
No.
I'll try to find it and show it and get your opinion then. Because I still don't mind it, but that's also because that's what Superman looks like in my head. That's
but I'm like, this is okay. This is what I've always felt. When they were first coming out with the Man of Steel movie, and I found out that he wasn't going to have the red underwear on, I was all about it. They came out with a lot of concept pictures, and he had more designs on it. The costume that they came out with, I was okay with.
The end result?
It's Superman. One of the things that I like the most about the New 52 Superman, I've been on record by saying that's my favorite design for Superman to date. Because he has a collar on his neck, he has the little arm things that come down over his hands.
To the point,
he's not wearing underwear, and he has that red belt dividing his top upper body from his lower body.
So you know it's not a onesie.
Yeah, I mean, like regardless of whether or not it is a onesie, it's dividing the top from the bottom. It's more things going on. So he's not wearing one big blue thing on his body. Having the underwear there, I feel it's silly. I mean, I will go on record by saying that Batman, his spandex outfit, it doesn't do it for me. Especially with how Batman is supposed to be doing.
What do you mean? Like in terms of...
okay, let's...
Like an example.
The Dark Knight Batman. Where it just looks like he just threw on some spandex and now he's going out to fight crime.
Frank Miller's, you mean?
The Dark Knight Returns.
Okay, because that looks more clothy than spandexy to me.
Like, I mean, like, yeah, he just throws on something that's tight over his body, and now he's running outside,
like Adam
running over
West,
a piece of
more
cloth.
so.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. I am not behind that whatsoever.
You like armor.
I like Batman to look like he's going out there to do something and that he's prepared for it.
Okay.
I can get behind him having the sectioned off, like the way he is in the New 52, where he has sectioned off
Plates.
pieces.
It almost takes it
it's
from
not plates.
Nolan's.
It's not plates.
It looks like it.
It's not. Yeah. I mean, it looks like he might have armor on, but it's still form fitting. You still might be able. Like it's okay. Okay. It looks like he has abs and shit, but it might. There's armor. There's armor there under it. So when they slash, anybody who's actually played any of the Arkham games, he has that sort of outfit on, where it's padded from the start to finish of the game. You always like their character Batman just deals with damage from start to finish. He gets more and more damage until you start seeing what's going on there. He has slashes on his outfit where you can see his skin under it, and then there's a bit of armor under the cloth. So there's a slash. You see his arm. You might see a little, like a cut on his arm. You see the armor, and then you see the cloth covering the armor. That sort of thing. I'm fine with that. I can get behind that. Do not give me spandex and tell me Batman's running out there like that. I don't... Yeah, sure. He's a superhero. This is a comic book. There's a certain amount of, like, belief that you should just, like, throw out there. I will accept this because it's a comic book. No,
suspension of disbelief. Yeah, you let yourself fall into that universe.
Fuck that. No, I'd rather believe that this guy's actually going out there and he's prepared to fight crime. Now, the Christopher Nolan movies, yes, sure, it's a movie. It's going back from the other Batman movies where it feels like like in the first Batman movie where he couldn't move his head. It's just like one big piece of plastic. That's what I get that's what I believe when I look at some of the Batman. When I think about Batman, they make a movie about him. He's a guy under this big piece of like plastic sort of deal. He can't move himself. He's protecting himself. Blah. Da, 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 da. He's in armor and stuff. Christopher Nolan, he has the plating on. It's big and bulky. In the comic books, I'm fine with it looking sleek. Him having the iconic design. I can't get behind the underwear on the outside. Never will I ever sit there and believe that he sits there and chooses. Fuck that. Let me just design this costume and there be like an underwear thing on my crotch.
Hey, Alfred. Yes, sir. What do you think about underwear on the outside? It's a bit ridiculous, sir. Well, nobody gives a fuck what you think, Alfred. I'm the billionaire. I'm putting my undies on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. Like he makes this entire outfit. It's gray, and he looks at his crotch.
I need people to look at my cock.
Yeah, he looks at his crotch part and is like, it needs underwear. It needs just make that black, everything else gray, and I don't give a fuck. It just needs outfit. I'll run out there and just look like a fucking dumbass with my underwear on the outside. It needs underwear on the outside. No, I don't like that.
That's not a conversation he'd have. Nor thought. He'd want to be all in black.
I don't really believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that's something that he would do.
Do you know who else is all in black?
Who?
Do you want to talk about it? The man of the Night's Watch.
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow. He may know nothing, but he knows something at the end of this episode.
It's a funny thing. Okay, so...
Well, let's start, because since our last episode where we even talked about Game of Thrones, the episode hadn't started. So let's start 6-1, and then we'll get to after.
Okay, so the first episode of this new season
is badass.
But nothing happens.
In my opinion, it's got 2 jokes in it, 2 funny scenes in it, which is something you don't get with Game of Thrones often. So to have 2 of them,
yes,
true. I enjoyed it. So I think the first one that I want to talk about, it's how they even start, is Davos finds Jon Snow in the snow. Takes him, barricades himself in with Jon Snow's true believers, and they get in to this little tiny room with Davos, the men, Ghost, Jon Snow's body, and Melisandre sneaks in there.
At some point.
At some point, yeah. I don't remember that either now that I'm sitting thinking about it. Davos sends a man out, but most of them all stay in this room. So all in this room, and what's that fucking piece of shit's name? The guy who took over, who led the coup. Who is it?
Alistair Thorne.
So Thorne comes and knocks on the door and, come on, guys, there doesn't have to be bloodshed. We can get through this. And Davos, just being the smart motherfucker that he is, knows that, no, this is all, we're not getting out of here alive. Not on his terms. Not on anybody's. It's like,
yeah.
So in a sense, pretty much starts fucking with him. Mm-hmm. Thorne's like, don't worry. we'll set you free. You can go south of the wall. Nothing's gonna happen." And Davos,
they've already like, no, we've set up shop here. This is where we're gonna stay. Let's have fun with this and go on.
and Davos is like, "I'll need some mutton." And Thorne just kind of like, he's like, "Yeah, I need some mutton. Not a very good hunter, and it's a long trip. I'm gonna need some food." So Thorne's like, "Mutton, yeah, okay." And Thorne goes back, "All right, well, now that we have all your stuff, we're going to sit here. We'll think about it, talk amongst ourselves. Don't worry about it. We'll get back to you later." And Thorne, like, "What do you say? Like, I offered you a death threat, like, come out of the room by sunset or you're dead. You come back to me. Well, I'll think about it. And if I do think about it and say yes, you're going to have to give me some mutton because I can't hunt her." Like, it's just a big fuck you to Thorne. And it's done so nicely and so smartly that, yes, it's humorous.
Yeah. You know what I think? You know what I think Davos doesn't do? Wear his underwear on the outside.
He definitely doesn't do that.
Fuck that.
That's why we take him seriously. Yeah, that's a good point.
It is why I take Davos seriously. He's not wearing his underwear on the outside.
Huh.
You know who also doesn't wear his underwear on the outside? Kick-Ass, and he's wearing spandex. He's wearing tight clothing.
And he does get fucked up a lot.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, we got to get on that. We should do those.
Yeah.
2 movies, 3 comic books. That would be a fun episode.
Righteous.
Why don't you tweet us at Gluttons Geeks if you want to hear your own kick-ass episode? You can write it at facebook.com/gluttons for geekdom. Why don't you email us over at gluttonsofgeekdom@gmail.com?
Yeah, if you want to hear us talk about a topic, just get at us.
We're really that simple, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very well-trained flying monkeys. You tell us to do something, we'll probably do it.
Well-trained flying monkeys.
I get that reference. Flying shit, dragons fly, drop Khaleesi off, gets picked up by another Khalazar, and this is where the second funny thing comes in. Walking with the Khalazar, 2 guys are talking shit about her because they don't know that she speaks Dothraki, and calling her dumb and how they like to stick it in her ass, and haha. So she gets to
That's the joke. Man, sticking it in Khaleesi's ass. That is comedic gold.
But she gets to the Khal of this Khalazar, and he's talking about seeing her naked. And he goes, "What is better than seeing a girl naked for the first time?" And one of his blood riders is like, "Beheading a man?" And then the other blood rider is like, "Breaking in a horse for the first time." And then the other blood rider throws in a third thing. And the cow's just getting upset, and the cow says, "Okay, one of the 5 greatest things in the world is seeing," like, I love that.
That was hilarious.
It was hilarious. Where the fuck did that humor come from?
I have no idea, but it was perfectly timed.
It was perfect. It was great. And it went with the story, didn't contract from it, didn't make me think I'm watching a comedy. It just was there. It was done beautifully. Something I never saw coming in the show. Like, there's kind of moments, but like this seemed like a planned funny.
The show's never really that funny.
Never. You never get lighthearted. You never laugh at Game of Thrones. So to have it happen twice and in a perfect manner, for me personally, seeing Davos get to be a G is awesome because I love him. And then this other bit of humor is funny too because it just seems so real.
Quite honestly,
what's better than this? Well, this and this and fine. Okay, some stuff's better. Like it seems real. I love it. I loved that joke.
I would look at it this way: Davos is like the one, since he is like straightforward. Like you mentioned it last time, where in the Audible books, they're going through a chapter with Davos. He never has any ulterior motives when he's talking and stuff. So he's allowed to be funny, and his jokes are supposed to be jokes. You don't
they're not tripes; they're jokes.
You don't sit there and think that he's fucking with this person, and he has his own plans going on there, and someone's about to die. No, Davos is just being funny. Sure, someone might die at some point, but you are allowed to laugh at this one moment right here. Yeah, you don't have to sit there and wonder what's going on. And I feel the same way for the Dothraki. That's the entire, because that's the first time we ever see that call. That's the entirety of their culture, is they can make jokes about that type of stuff because that's what they do, and they're very straightforward about their sort of culture.
Well, it also reminds me of the Wild Things. In fact, that yes, we do have a leader and we follow him, but we're fucking free people. We'll say and think what we do, is what I think you were saying too.
Yes,
which is great.
Definitely.
You know, it's funny having to explain. I think I said it last time too. I tried to get my sister into it and having to explain these worlds and just.
It's actually a very funny thing because it also brings back to the 14-book novel that I was listening to on.
What were you listening to
Audible.
it on? On what?
Audible.
I didn't hear you. What are you listening to it on?
Audible.
Oh, we love saying those words.
Audible.
Yes.
So yes, the Wheel of Time. There is one group of people in that story called the Aiel. They are like, if you look at that one scene where what's better than seeing a woman naked, and they list off all those 5 things, that's the same type of thing that will happen with the Aiel people. That's just they have their honor, they have their things that they like as human things, but there's certain things that being an Aiel you can't just dismiss. Like they live in the desert wasteland, and there's like water's a huge thing to them, and like, oh, what's better than seeing a woman naked? Water.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. It's just like there's more things important than this silly shit right there. There's more things that we actually hold and more value than some of the things that you wetlanders, as they call everybody else who it doesn't live in a desert.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
Can we stop?
Those are the people that I told you way back when in other podcasts where they say your entire name.
If not, they seem
more close to you.
I want to take a quick break, as we usually do. TV's on in the background. Funny Family Guy moment where it's Stewie calling out Batman. Like, dude, like it was very easy to find out that you were Batman. You know, you can't just hire people to come in and build this giant underground cave for you and not expect somebody to talk. I mean, look at all this work that was done. There's computers down here. You had somebody build a lazy Susan in your cave underneath your giant mansion. How do you think that you were going to keep all those people quiet? And if you notice, I didn't do a Stewie impression because last time it did not go well, so I thought I'd stay straightforward for that. But yeah, it is kind of something to think about, you know. Who helped build, like, even in Nolan's, who got those computers down there?
Definitely.
You really think it was Bruce and Alfred?
Did he bring all those computers down there and hook it all up? Did he build that Lazy Susan down there himself? No. Did Alfred help him build that Lazy Susan? Maybe Alfred's good with, like, mechanics and stuff, but he's not that strong.
Yeah. What did you think of Tyrion and how he and Varys were walking around? And I love he's trying to give that lady money to her baby to eat. And Varys has to get down. He's like, oh, it's Dothraki's horrible. He doesn't want to pay you to eat your baby. He wants to give you this money so you could feed your baby. But she misunderstood and thought he was saying, hey, let me pay you to eat your baby.
And she was willing to give up her baby.
No, she clutched it. She was like, no, fuck you.
Misdirect. That was crazy, yeah.
And then, like, that
was a nice scene.
On the wall, there was the graffiti, and it said something, I can't remember the exact words, but it was similar to the fact of kill the masters from the old days when she took over, and then above that it said Khaleesi is a master.
Yeah.
That seemed to be the newer writing, which is, reminds me of frickin' Animal Farm.
Go on.
That old book, I can't go too far into it, but they had rules that if you walk on 2 feet, you're bad, and just, that's what it reminded me of. Somebody wrote graffiti, like, fuck the masters, and then the new thing is to say, well, Khaleesi's a master, and just went right over it. Just, I don't know. I tried to be a smart person and make an Animal Farm reference, and I know maybe somewhere a scholar can make a good one. Not this guy here.
I'm sorry for saying go on.
Yeah, really. Fuck you. You could have just gone, okay. Go on. Call you on your shit, motherfucker. Make your point.
All right, Nick, I'm blowing up your spot.
Yeah, really did that. Thank you.
Sorry, dude.
That happens.
I've never indulged in Animal Farm, so that's why I said go on.
But at the end of this episode now, we got one of the big shocks, the first big shock of the season. And Melisandre walks into her room, closes, locks her door, becomes naked, and it's looking good. Stuff is going great. You know, naked lady takes off her thing, and it's a naked lady you don't want to see. Mm-hmm. She's
old.
Not only old, I mean, old,
ancient.
like Crypt Keeper old.
Yeah,
like what's keeping her together.
She's had enough.
Not really looking in the mirror, looking at the shiny gold thing at her reflection, and goes over to bed and gets tucked in, and that was the end of season 6, episode 1. And compared to the spoiler the shocker that we got in this next episode, seeing old lady Melisandre get into bed is nothing.
Yeah, a friend of mine thought that it was her just taking off that chain, and now she's just committing suicide. All right, you know what? This amulet was keeping me alive. Take it off, and then that's it. What happened with Stannis Baratheon was just too much for me. I failed, so I'm killing myself. So she takes off the amulet, and that's when she dies. She crawls into bed, and she just dies in bed.
That's a theory. I mean,
that would have been crazy if this next episode didn't just disprove that altogether.
Yeah, no, she's still alive.
No, she's still alive.
Still alive.
And
no, let's wait. What else happens first? Because I think, if not the most cruel character, I think have you ever seen The Green Mile? With Tom Hanks.
It was a while ago.
There's this character, and his name is Percy. Mm-hmm. And somehow his father has an in with who's ever in charge of the job that he's working at, which is a guard on death row.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks and his crew hate this guy, but can't really give him too much shit because they know if they do, somebody's going to come yell at him because that's the blah, blah, blah son. So during this film, he is able to be one of the most despicable human beings that you've ever seen, in the fact that I think that he taught me acting in the sense that I was like, I fucking hate that guy. My mom was like, you don't hate that guy, you hate that character. You have to understand this is a person. He's at work right now. And that's really, like, I understood people went to be on screen to film stuff, but that's when I was like, oh, acting's more than just showing up and saying stuff. Like, he made me hate this guy. And even to this day, watching this movie, I know how it ends, I know how it begins, blah, 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 I know everything. But god damn, he plays it so malicious that I hate him. Ramsay Bolton might be worse. I know it took a while to get there. Thank you for staying with me, but Ramsay fucking Bolton, man.
Ramsay Bolton. Okay, I love characters in any sort of thing altogether. All throughout Game of Thrones, I was like, Cersei's a fucking bitch. I can't stand her. I hope she gets her comeuppance. I was like, yo, dude, fucking, what's his name? Joffrey Baratheon. I hope he just dies a horrible death. I hope he gets his comeuppance. Ramsay Bolton? I hope he never gets his comeuppance. He's such a fucking fantastic, evil character. He is so fucking slick with how bad he is. Of a fucking dude that I'm just like, I have to see how far he goes.
Because Joffrey was predictable.
I wanted Joffrey to get his, just to get it. I couldn't stand him.
You knew that, if somebody insulted his ego, or
he was such a fucking shit that he needed his.
But he was just so easy to call out. Ramsay is evil in the fact that he's got a plan, and his plan is twisted, so you really don't see it coming. And the big spoiler, 3, 2, 1, is that he stabs his father.
Dude, when I seen him, I was like, oh, this guy is fucking sick.
Not that big of a breath in. We know what a big breath in sounds like now.
No. I was like,
not that big. Okay,
but I was
for later.
But I would do the breath in for that one scene because he was.
Yeah. He was.
Ramsay Bolton is such an evil character that he needs to last to the end for me. Like, he's so bad that I can't help but like what he does.
For those reasons, he's really driving the story.
He's an evil character. I'm fully behind him being the true villain of the series. And I can't wait like what the only thing that I want him to be like, only time I want him to get his comeuppance is by a White Walker, where it gets just that.
Keep saying that. No, I want Reek.
No, I don't like. The thing is, this is Game of Thrones. No one gets their comeuppance. People just
Nobody
die.
gives the comeuppance that they deserve to give. People get their comeuppance.
No one gets the comeuppance that they deserve.
See, you say that, but I disagree.
Joffrey Baratheon should have been killed by a Stark. He was poisoned.
By a Stark, in some sense.
No, he was poisoned by.
She didn't know about it.
He was poisoned by Littlefinger.
It was because of
Littlefinger killed his ass.
It was his plan, but his pawn to get the poison into her did come from Sansa Stark wearing it. It's
that.
weak.
No.
It's a weak argument. Fuck that. It's still a Stark.
Fuck that. No, it's not a Stark. It was Littlefinger. He just used a Stark.
That's what I'm saying. So
that wasn't that. No, that's not good.
Do you agree with me or do you agree with Deuce? Let us know at Gluttonous Geeks, Facebook.com/. Do you think that Littlefinger using Sansa Stark to carry the poison unknowingly that eventually got Joffrey dead counts towards a Stark killing Joffrey, or if it's just completely Littlefinger since Sansa had no idea? But if she did have an idea, do you think that she'd stop it too?
No. I think she would have just done.
Not a bad argument. Let us know at Gluttonous Geeks.
I feel like if Joffrey should have been killed by a Stark who was trying to kill him.
Okay. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
A Stark should have been trying to kill Joffrey. That's a comeuppance for me.
Okay.
The Walder Frey. I feel like he might just die of old age. Is that a comeuppance? Is that a comeuppance? No. Should he be killed by a Stark?
No, I think Catelyn will come back for his ass. In the book, not in the show, obviously.
In the show, unless they actually do bring her back in this season. That'd be nuts.
Giant spoiler, we've taken care of it already, but if you didn't listen to our awesome Game of Thrones episode, go back, listen to that. Catelyn Stark is alive in the books. As the lady of the...
Lady Stoneworth.
Lady Stoneworth, excuse me.
She's a zombie.
A zombie with a slit throat, bloated, disgusting.
And she's taking out Frey's left and fucking
So I think that'll be his... Yeah, he won't die of old age. He'll really... That'll
be a nice comeuppance.
She'll find him.
I was like, Joffrey killed Eddard, and like he didn't, like he got poisoned. Gay bullshit. Robb Stark should have rode into King's Landing and just like, you killed my father. Boom, took his head. That's comeuppance right there.
Oh, what about the guy who Arya just killed? That's some good comeuppance. Hashtag comeuppance when you go to @Gluttonous Geeks at Twitter. Hashtags comeuppance, man. We've said that word at least 20 times.
Let's
get that word trending.
Comeuppance. Samarin Trent.
Yeah, when he died, that was some good.
Oh, that was
2 stabs.
Not planned in the books. So no. Whatever happened, it was. That was a show thing, and
good for them because that was good.
I was like, oh, it was so filthy. I was like, yes, but also at the same time, I felt dirty for watching because it felt like the show was just like, yeah, let's just give something to the fans because no one's getting what they want, so let's just give them something that they. Yes, Arya takes down someone on her list instead of just people are dying. Arya never kills anybody on her list. No one gets their comeuppance. People just leave the story.
So in that story on TV,
nothing really satisfying.
Once Arya kills
Samarin Trent,
she goes blind.
Yes.
We didn't talk. She actually is in the first episode. Begging, blind.
Yes.
The girl who's working with her in the black and white temple comes up, gives her a stick, has a stick of her own, beats the shit out of her with a stick, walks away. That's all she really saw of Arya. In this episode, pretty much happens and goes like that again until her friend, what's his name?
Jaqen H'ghar.
This is why you need a Bobby Deuce on your show when you're talking about Game of Thrones with me. I can remember characters, specifically nicknames, but full names, never. So, Jaqen H'ghar.
Yes. Oh, that name's Jaqen H'ghar. Oh.
Yeah, I said Dragon Hadar, just hoping you wouldn't actually figure it out. I'm
gonna let you guys know that I'm a huge fan of just names, character names. I just if a name is just fucking fantastic, it just slips out of my mouth as just pure gold to me. Anytime I ever say it, that one story.
What was his name? You said
Redemption Space. That series. His name was Tanner Mirabel. Tanner Mirabel.
That's a great name.
Such an awesome name to just say, Tanner Mirabel.
Yeah.
The other guy in the story was Neville Clavane. He was later on in the series. In this 14-book story, these novels I was looking at, some of my favorite names are Rodel Iturralde. I love saying that name so much. Hadnan Kadir. That's good. What's his name? Colin DeShiva. Those are I just love hearing those names, and when
Game
you're
of
listening,
Thrones gives you a lot of those
yes,
too.
when you're listening to it on Audible and hearing those names, it sounds so perfect
On Audible?
on Audible.
So
Jack and Hagar,
comes and he catches the stick that the girl's going to beat him up with.
boom, with his hand, his Jack and Hagar
It's
hand.
pretty cool. And, in the books, this is actually something that reflects well, is that he he promises to give her eyes back, but then if he does, she can't stay.
Actually, let me just, before we do that, one thing that I really like that the show is doing that the books don't do is they don't outright say it was Jack and Hagar. And in the show,
Yeah, she refers to him,
outright say it's Jack and Hagar. It's just the face that he's using.
Yeah.
So he's like, he comes back, and I'm fully behind him. I was like, oh, it's Jack and Hagar. But actually, just might not be Jack and Hagar. Jack and Hagar might have just died after he left after he was freed. He might have been killed at some point.
It just might be a face.
It might be a face that she responds to.
It's kind of similar to the South Park episode where the aliens abduct them, and he transforms into a figure that he thinks that they'll most find pleasing. So at first it's Randy's dad or Stan's dad, Randy, and then it's Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and he goes through like a million. And at the end he's like, I can't go through anymore. What is the form that you want? And they go, how about a giant taco pooping ice cream? And and then it's a giant taco. Hey kids, big old thing of ice cream pops, and they look at each other. Not bad, okay. So yes, maybe for a sense, that's Arya's giant talking taco pooping ice cream.
Yes.
Is
Jack and Hagar.
Interesting stuff. I can't wait to see where they go further with her, because I'm still
now
rooting
in the
for
book.
her.
I'm always just going to picture this guy who's like training Arya as being Jack and Hagar.
Yeah, and you're right.
I never thought it was going to be Jack and Hagar, but also at the same time, Jack and Hagar just wasn't Jack and Hagar. It was just a name he was using. He was just whoever that person was is whoever that person was. He's a nobody.
Yeah. That's so crazy. He is a nobody. And I like how he always calls her a girl.
A girl.
A girl can have her eyes back. The man that Davos sent out and implied saying, go get the wildlings, because they owe Jon Snow something. They're going to hear that this piece of shit name took over.
Alistair Thorne.
They're going to find out Thorne took over.
They sent out Dolorous Ed to get Tormund Giantsbane.
Keep going, sir.
To help them deal with this Jon Snow.
In my head, they sent Skinny Night Swat's guy to go find Fiery Beard guy. In the real world, they sent Dolorous Ed to go get Norman Giantsbane.
Tormund Giantsbane.
See, that's why you don't even let me do the fucking edits. I still fuck it up. I'm fine. Just in case anybody else is on my page, guy with the big, beautiful, luscious red beard. His name is
Redbeard the Wildling. Tormund Giantsbane.
Gorgeous beard.
Or Tormund Bearfucker.
He's been great throughout the series.
You fuck a bear.
But he goes...
You've never fucked a bear.
They come back. Oh, what is the giant's name? Do you know that? I know that he's got a name, and I know they say it in the books all the damn time.
Oh, that is...
They, numb it down to 2 syllables.
That's a tough one. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Because giants don't speak the...
No, they don't speak the normal tongue.
Which is a.k.a. English, so it's like... And they literally call him, Nunya. Something like that.
Yeah.
If you know the real answer, at Gluttonous Geeks at Twitter.
Fuck.
That's a good one. He comes boom, boom, bursting through the door. Mm-hmm. So now you've got the turncloak. Well, they're not turncloaks. I mean, because piece of shit, what's his name?
Alistair Thorne
makes it such a good argument in the first episode. If he gave us the impossible fucking thing and we made a frickin' choice. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they're turncloaks. In my head, they are because they killed the Lord Commander. No, you can't be in a plan that kills the Lord Commander. You're a turncloak. They're standing. The wildlings are on the other side, and nobody's really making a move. And the one brother of the Night's Watch releases an arrow out of a crossbow that goes into the giant's shoulder.
Yeah.
The giant picks him up, slams him against the fucking wall, breaking his head open, tosses the body at the piece of shit.
Alistair Thorne.
And everybody fucking smart.
Yeah, they
drops their weapons.
Yeah, we're going to stop now. Okay, as far as them being turncloaks, I feel like the Night's Watch had been along. The White Walkers were gone for such a long time that the Night's Watch forgot exactly what they were doing on the wall.
Fucking A.
Because the wildlings, sure, they're keeping them out, but they're not what the threat is about.
That's not why you started.
Yeah, it's not why the wall was really built.
Your watch began to watch
for these White Walkers
and for other animals too. Actually, I think it was to keep the more wilder animals in sense of the dire wolves and mastodons up there too. But White Walkers were number one. Don't let the fucking whites over.
Yeah, the White Walkers were just the ones that are they're the ones that are fucking up mankind.
And that was Bran the
Builder. They have their war. The White Walkers have their war against mankind altogether.
In 1,000 years, yeah. I mean, they forgot about the children of the Green Forest.
Yeah, they forgot about the children of the forest who still exist.
And we got to see a lot of with Bran.
Yeah. He was doing his thing with the children of the forest.
What did you think of the kind of backflash, not so really backflash of young Stark?
You sat there and you watched me lose my shit over Lyanna Stark just being there alive. Like, oh my god, she's the one who started all this bullshit.
Everything it was
so
all
good
about her.
So great.
Hodor,
so great. Hodor talking.
Saying words.
Oh my god. Dude, just like...
Or you already know.
Eddard Stark just training his younger brother Benjen Stark and just swordplay.
Keep your shield up or I'll ring your head like a bell.
Oh, dude.
I love the way that they talk to one another in a family because it is like through all of it. If it is a genuinely loving relationship, because you got kind of the same with Snow and Rob and Bran a little bit. You hear little tidbits of just that.
Yeah, they love each other.
Keep your shield. We love each other. But I'm going to have to teach you a lesson. This is a hard lesson.
Yes, it's a harsh
lesson. And I'm going to hit you in the head with this freaking wooden sword as many times as it takes, because one day it could not be me, and one day it's not going to be wood.
No, it's better to learn from me, or else you're going to learn it.
I'll give you your wallop, and I love that relationship that they got into for that.
Let me teach you now, or else you're just...
Because Benjen, we saw in Season 1, Episode 1, maybe a little bit of Episode 2, and then we still haven't seen him. We still don't know where he is.
Homedog is gone, yeah.
So even seeing a younger version with Ned, and then what's their older sister's name? I'm sorry.
Lyanna Stark.
It was a cool scene, and we get to see Bran there with the three-eyed crow, and right as Bran's coming into his own and seeing what he likes.
What I would love, he might have been in that scene, but I would love to see their eldest brother, Brandon Stark, the one who gets burned by the Mad King.
The one who goes to get Liliana
the one
back.
Who gets choked by the Mad King.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So a little backstory on that, just to
Rickard Stark,
just to educate a little bit more for those who don't know. We're saying that Liliana Stark is the key to all this.
Yes.
Because as Aerys the Mad King, see, I knew that name, right?
Yeah.
Fucking A. His son.
After a while, you kept calling him Aegon.
Fuck you. Aerys the Mad King. His son stole Lyanna Stark.
Lyanna Stark, yes.
Lyanna Stark.
Rhaegar Targaryen stole Lyanna Stark.
And because of this, that sent Brandon to go get her. And he did not let him return. So the father, Ned's father, Brandon's father, what's his name? Who was the Stark?
Rickard Stark.
Went to go get him. And the Mad King started burning him. Mm-hmm. Leaving his oldest son to watch on with a sword that would let his father free. At the edge of his fingertips and around his neck is a noose, and the closer he gets to the sword, the tighter the noose gets. And
was there a sword, or was he just like...
No, it was a sword. If he could
there?
get to the sword, he could save his father, but that's what the point is.
Well, I thought it was like he would try... Well, his father was being burned, and he would... The whole thing is like the noose was there to choke him as he tried to get at his father to save his father.
From what they told me in the special features, there was a sword there, and the sword could cut his father free. And so as the closer he got...
Yeah, so he's like, he's over here, like, yeah, he's... All the attempts that he would make to try to save his father, it was killing him.
And in a sense, to me, that reminds me of the prison in The Dark Knight Rises. That sword is directly that sunshine up. It is hope. This man died with the hope, with the promise of knowing I am just a finger inch away from saving...
If I can get that sword, boom, that's
horrible way to die. I'd rather be the guy on the other end fucking getting burned. At least I know, like, nope, I'm tied to a stake that's burning. I'm dead. He ain't gonna get it. Look at him. I could see it. Like, I'd have no hope. No, having that sickening, heart-wrenching screaming of your father in your ear with literally, like, they make it sound that... I mean, everybody's done it.
It would be a terrible way. It would be a terrible way to go, but I'd rather be the guy who...
Everybody has sat on the couch, dropped something, and has tried their hardest to bend their body without actually having to get their fucking asses up. So they know that feeling of, like, that fucking fingernail. Oh, if I only had a tenth of an inch more, I could do it. And, like, this is for the reason of getting a remote that fell. This is literally saving your father's life. Imagine just that fingertip touching the hilt, knowing all I need is just a little more to save myself, him, my sister, my kingdom, everything, and having to die of asphyxiation.
My breaking point is a lot sooner than that. I'm like, oh, no, fuck this shit.
You think until you choke out on the floor.
I would die the same way Rickard died. Not Brandon died. Like, oh, fuck it. Because there's no way to get out of that.
It's fucked. It is fucked. That's crazy. So anyway,
but the whole thing, what doesn't make sense to me now, if there's a sword there, it's like, why doesn't he undo his own noose?
Because he couldn't get to the sword. If he could get to the sword, he'd have to save himself and then his father.
But his hands are free.
Why couldn't he just untie it?
Yeah.
That's not a part of the game. I don't know. I didn't.
So yeah, that's like the whole thing where I got from it is that his hands are tied behind his back, and his father's burning, and he's over here just trying to save his father with his hands tied behind his back.
Save his father with his hands behind his back.
Well, the whole thing, it's all emotion. So he's just trying to get at his father, like, no, I can, and he's over here choking himself, just trying to, like, I can, like, let me just get over there and try to do something, and he can't do anything.
I think the sword thing's crueler, so I hope that's the way it is. We'll go.
But then, why doesn't he just, like, I think the arms tied behind the back thing is.
What if it's a metal noose that cannot be broken? Even if it's good fucking string,
okay,
can you break string?
Let it be a metal noose. Let it be a metal noose. Okay,
it's string with your hands though either.
So then how does he choke himself with that metal noose?
It's just like a regular tie. Like
okay, let it be.
Whatever.
It's a dog chain. The choke chain. They have him on a choke chain, a metal choke chain where he just chokes himself. He can't cut it with. He can't.
Anyway, so they both die.
Yeah, they both die.
Is still under Abby's. Yeah, really. You got really into that.
Yeah, they both die.
So that's when Robert, who's in love with
Lyanna Stark,
it's like, we got to take this shit down. And that's really, after all that happens, where the show starts.
Yeah.
That's why we say she is the keypin to all of this.
Edward is pissed off that, like, you know, both his brother and his father died. The Targaryens have his sister, and, you know, she's betrothed to Robert Baratheon. And then they're like, you know what, let's just fuck these Targaryens. Let's take them down.
They've had this is too long.
And then it's like, the storms in and their allies plus the North.
And they had the Tullys in there, too.
The Tullys, too.
Riverrun was in the, Again, dude, if you don't have it, anybody out there, you included, we can watch it because you're my friend, so I'll show it to you. But if not, you can go and buy the Blu-ray. It has all this extra feature stuff, man, on it. big maps and stuff, and it's cool when you watch it. You can actually watch the episodes with this little bar on the side, and it's perfect for a guy like me because they literally you can look up which characters are in the scene. Where are they in the scene? And what the fuck does this mean towards everything that's happening? And that's on the screen the whole time.
That is nuts.
Technology's crazy. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
That is nuts, because I had to do all that stuff by myself on my own. I just fell in love with the world so much that I actually had to do all that research to find out all that stuff that was going on way back when.
Well, I did the American thing, and I paid $20, and now I have it all. God
Take that,
bless this economy. Yeah. So do you just?
All right. So, well, where were we? We were talking about.
Well, we just gave everybody a good history of why this war all started and why.
Yes, we were talking about Bran's.
Oh, we were
talking about Bran and his little flashback scene
with the three-eyed crow and him telling him, yeah, you can't live in the past because if you stay there too long, you'll never come back.
It's like being underwater, is what he said. You can't.
It's beautiful underwater, but yeah, you stay under there too long,
you'll drown. Which I thought was a fantastic analogy. I was like, oh, that is
makes sense to my dumb ass. Yep, I understand.
Yeah, I wanted to clap, but I was watching the show and I didn't want to hear myself clapping. But yeah, we were talking about Bran. What do you think about Bran? What do you think about his story altogether?
I'm happy he's back because season 5 without him was poo. Not the season itself. It's just I want to know. I knew in the book that he was doing stuff. What the fuck is going on with Bran? He's got to learn how to become the three-eyed crow.
Yeah, it's like he's learning stuff.
We were talking about the children of the north.
He's pretty much the only
children of the forest. He's with them now.
He's the only character aside from Melisandre who's actually doing magic.
Oh yeah.
There's magic.
Well, no, the other guy whose name you love too. Who kept
Jack and Hagar?
No. The guy in the wood with the free riders who has the fish.
Beric Dondarrion.
You love his name, see?
Beric Dondarrion.
He was doing some magic.
Yeah, until he gave his life to
until that happened,
Stark, yeah.
Correct. And then in the book, she's doing a little bit of magic just in the self that she is alive, so that's magic. Yeah. But yes, you are absolutely correct.
Yeah, Brandon Stark is pretty much like the only guy who's like doing all the. We've seen Melisandre do her magic, and we know that Beric Dondarrion comes back to life whenever he's killed. In the books, he gives his last life to Catelyn Stark, who comes back to life, so there's no more Beric Dondarrion. They didn't never go into how that actually happens. She's just back.
She's just alive, and they're like, he did this, and then it's fucking over.
Yeah, it's pretty much how, in a book, it happened with Robb Stark, with him getting the wife. In the show, you see him courting this chick. In the book, he just...
I'm here with a wife.
Robb Stark never actually gets a chapter for himself. So there's never a, in Audible, each chapter begins with the character's name. Robb. That never happens. So it's Jon, Arya, Eddard, Jaime, Cersei, Catelyn. That type of shit. There's never a Robb. So Robb's story is told through Catelyn Stark's eyes. So when he's not there, which is when he's courting this chick, Catelyn Stark doesn't know what he's doing. So at one point, he comes back, and he's married. He's like, yeah, this is my wife. Boom.
Well, I told you about the brilliance of that in the last
episode. Yeah, because she lets
Kingslayer go, yeah.
Yeah, Kingslayer
okay, Mom, you didn't fuck up. We're family. By the way, this is my wife.
That type of shit.
Didn't you just fuck over somebody? I'm so mad. I thought we didn't get mad at my family, Mom. Like, that's basically what it was.
Yeah. You fuck over somebody, I fuck over somebody too.
Yep. We're both fuck-ups, but we are together, so let's not yell at each other. I have a wife, you let the Kingslayer go. Let's move forward.
Let's lose this war.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was pretty much... Bran is like the only guy who's actually doing magic right now. Aside from Melisandre and Beric Dondarrion.
And in the book, he was able to travel through time and do flashbacks, but that was only through the trees. He had to actually be touching a tree, and then he saw his father in the Godswood.
Yes. He actually got to see that scene where he was cleaning ice, I believe.
Correct.
Yes.
So it's a little bit different in this, and I like the way they handled it.
Was it that scene where he's cleaning ice and Catelyn comes in there, he sits down and he talks with her? Was it that scene? Mm-hmm. It happens in the first. Yeah. Okay. So it was that scene. Yeah. Bran can do that. We don't know the full extent of what he can do with the magic, but
in either book or
the show. But
There's a
There's
little difference.
fucking magic now. Please, more magic. So far is the only, like the only
The only
thing
magic we see is just people coming back to life.
Yeah, that's like the pretty much.
Or
It's
people
this
dying because of ghost
supernatural
monsters.
thing. I mean, like, because in Old Valeria, they were doing magic out the ass, I believe. Mm-hmm. They were saying, I think they said that people were able to fly there, or some
They're all on dragons.
craziness. Yeah, they had control over dragons, all that type of stuff.
And because
The
of which they
Targaryens were
able
actually
to
probably
go very
the
far.
Targaryens were actually probably like the lowest class citizen in Old Valeria.
But anyway, yeah, no, Valeria was cool and had a lot of magic, and I would like to see more of that because they.
How many seasons has it been without any full-fledged fucking magic?
They even near close to 6, really.
Yeah. All this politicking around this Iron Throne. I want to see some fucking magic go
I
down.
wouldn't mind some more. I mean, the dragons are obviously pretty magical.
Yeah,
Seeing Tyrion unleash them, that was pretty
something.
fucking cool.
Yeah,
That
something.
was kind of magical.
Yeah, that was magical. He just lets them go.
Whenever I have the idea like that again, punch me right in the face. I like that.
Varys was like, sure, cool, whatever. Another thing. In the books, who releases the dragons is Quentin Martell. Now, I'm more than positive he's not going to show up in the show. In the books, he was pretty much he was another Oberyn Martell. He comes in
Introduced
there.
to die.
Introduced to die. Oberyn Martell was just cooler. His death was just better. Quentin Martell, he releases the dragons, and that was it.
Nope, it was Tyrion.
No,
did it
they
with
made Tyrion do it. The funny thing is, it happened the way it was in the books. Like Quentin Martell was over here dealing with one dragon, another dragon was behind him, and he just sets his ass ablaze, and that's how he dies.
Nope, Tyrion was
In the
just
show,
like,
in the show, another Tyrion is over here dealing with one dragon, sets his ass free, turns around, another dragon's like, oh my god, right behind
and it
him.
looks like it's gonna fuck with him and tear his ass
The
up.
other
like a
dragon's just like,
dragon
yo,
would.
let me go.
But then gives him kind of a look, gives him the side of his neck, like, get this shackle off me, you fucking imp. Like, just has this attitude, just, let's not be mistaken. I might need your help right now, but
Set me the fuck free.
let's not be mistaken. Yeah, you caught me at a moment. I happen to have the shackle around my neck, but we both know without it,
You're dead.
yeah.
I just kind of want to be free.
Even with it right now, you're dead. But I'm
kinda-
letting you live. Let this the fuck off me. Very awesome dragons.
Awesome dragon.
I would like a dragon.
Yeah, I love their design.
I would like a
It was so
hiccup dragon, though. Like How to Train Your
Oh,
Dragon.
Toothless?
A toothless? Fuck,
Toothless was
yes.
fantastic.
A Night Fury? Hell yes.
Oh.
That's how George Martin actually ends it. Yeah. That's how George Martin ends it.
Toothless just flies in.
Yeah. People are just like fucking dying, dragons everywhere, and Hiccup's just like, hold on, I got this. And that's how to Train Your Dragon starts. Game of Thrones is a prequel to How to Train Your Dragon.
Westeros just turns into that city,
They're
the
Viking
village that they
land,
live in.
whatever. No, it wouldn't. We're kidding, guys. Don't worry. No spoilers there.
Spoilers. It's Game of Thrones is the prequel to How to Train Your Dragon.
Do you want to go for the big nut, sir? Are you ready? I mean, you fucking did it the entire time Jon Snow was on the screen. Just to know, it was hard to watch this episode with Bobby Deuce because Bobby Deuce was so fucking sure that Jon Snow was going to come back to life. And he even called how he was going to do it, just a giant intake of air. So every single time, imagine watching Game of Thrones, listen to that every 10 seconds because Jon Snow's on the screen. So I was off, trying to do work to help.
Gluttons for Geekdom.
And so I'm kind of half watching. I'm mostly listening, half watching, looking down. And every time fucking anything happens, I get my fucking neck snaps up like a son of a bitch to look at the screen because I'm thinking, holy shit, he actually did it. Nope, I thought I was going to get goddamn whiplash.
Oh, God.
But yes, at the very end, Melisandre does some real magic. Real
Some
magic
real
we've
magic.
seen before. I mean, bringing people back to life, like we said.
But she does some magic.
It happens.
Everybody.
Oh, I love ghost sleeping.
Yeah, she does some magic. They believe she fails. Tormund Giantsbane leaves the room.
He's the first. Big
He's
red
the first
beard
one.
bushman.
Leave the room. Fucking Delaware Ed and Melisandre leave the room. Davos is still looking at Jon Snow's dead body.
Oh, and she cleaned the body, too, so you got to see all the stab wounds and how many there were and how deep, and that was a very good touch.
Tons of them.
Very good.
And like Davos is like, all right, well, I guess it failed. He bounces. Snow is just lying there, like, yeah, well, he's the
Ghost.
the ghost Snow.
And I really enjoy that somebody's job this week, you know, whenever they actually did, who knows, but this week on their job was to make a lying dog just sleep.
Yeah,
You know, it was just, hey, what are you doing? Making this dire wolf sleep, because he stayed asleep for a few seconds too. So
Yeah.
they really had to sit there and animate the breath
He-
going in and out. I was
yeah,
like, what a
he-
fucking fun day at work.
yeah, he looked like a dog.
Yeah, he looked perfect. You know,
And then
I have a giant husky, and that's exactly what he fucking looks
And
like.
then he raises his head. He looks at Jon Snow. You get that close up of Jon Snow's face, and Jon Snow's lying there, and his eyes are closed.
And he's alive. Bobby just fucking called it. Jon Snow is back, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen.
Huge intake of
Jon
breath, and he's
Snow
alive.
is back. We really only had to go one episode without seeing him alive. I mean, we did see him last episode, but he was just kind of dead laying around. And this one too, but at least at the very end, we saw 3 good breaths. Jon Snow's back.
Yes, he is back.
There's going to be some fucking hell to pay for.
Everybody who has read the books and has watched the last season who believe that Melisandre's going to bring Jon Snow back. Yeah, you're right. She
right.
brings him back.
Good for you. But again, you know, I brought this up and you're firm believing, no, he can't do that. But what if George doesn't bring him back in the books? He has that term because right now we're watching a season where Cersei is out of jail and Marjorie isn't.
Yes.
And in the books, Marjorie is out of jail well before Cersei is. Well before Cersei takes her walk,
Yeah,
Marjorie somehow gets out of that temple jail thing with the scepters and all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
why is Marjorie still in jail? So
That's
what's
a
going on?
big, what the fuck's going on? What's with this difference?
That's a nice little
happening
twist to it.
now that we can find out later to come that this could be another one. And maybe he did bring him back on the show, knowing as an executive producer, ooh, they're going to be so happy. And when they pick up my book, they're going to wait for that scene, and I'm not going to fucking give it to them. Nobody would see it coming. Nobody would see that coming. I blew your mind. Just think, I could see you.
I'm thinking like
That'd be fucked.
yeah, it would be like Tyrion releasing the dragons. They just in the show they just give you
It'd be
something.
bigger than that.
Well, no, because in the show they give you something that is that like solves the purpose of the same thing in the book.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, the whole okay. This is one of the biggest things that I have with the show and the book. Now, with the things that are going on in the show and the things that are going on in the book, there are characters in the book like Oberyn Martell and Quentin Martell who are kind of just introduced to die. They fulfill one thing. Oberyn Martell, he got the Martells involved in dealing with Westeros, the rest of Westeros. Quentin Martell, he released the dragons, and that was their only like real purpose. They were there for like an entirety of a book, and then boom, let's get rid of them. They're done. In a show, when they change things, I'm wondering how does this affect the book? Because I know in the show they have the outline for how the story is going to end for Song of Ice and Fire. Looking at it that way in a show, I guess it's kind of my fatal flaw that I'm sitting there watching, looking for something that either does or doesn't happen in a book that happens in a show, or that doesn't happen in a show that happens in a book, to where like the show is pretty much caught up with the book. And right now, if anybody who's like read the last 2 books know that one book follows a certain set of characters and the other book follows another set of characters. Both 2 books are told concurrently. And in the show, they told in the last season, Jon Snow dies. In a book, the very last book, he dies. So they're jumbling things around. There was no Bran in the last season, which he was not really there in A Feast for Crows. His book was A Dance with Dragons. So in this season, we're pretty much maybe getting A Dance with Dragons, but now we're getting also Winds of Winter, with Jon Snow coming back to life.
Because they're happening concurrently.
Yeah, they're happening concurrently, but that hasn't happened in the books yet.
Cool.
Everybody felt that it was going to happen, and now we may or may not be getting
That makes sense.
Getting proof that it is happening.
A spoiler for a book, really.
Spoiler for the book, yes, but I mean, like, it's also at the same time. Also at the same time, it's Jon fucking Snow. He's George R. R. Martin has killed off so many characters that people like. It's like, okay, well, how many characters are you going to kill off before I am not invested in the book anymore? You kill off Jon Snow, you'll get like a ton of people who are just going to walk away from it. It's like, okay, well, Jon Snow's dead. I don't really.
Daenerys.
Okay. Jon Snow dies, people are going to walk away. Tyrion dies, people are going to walk away, unless it's going to be something big.
It has to really mean something.
Yes.
Daenerys. It has to be noble beyond all reason, and it has to make him... He's got to be vindicated in everybody's eyes.
Yes.
Like, Tyrion.
Everybody has to...
everybody on this planet has to know that he's the best character in the planet.
Yes, his death has to be, like, substantial.
He's got to be exonerated from Joffrey's death. He has to know that his father was a cruel prick and deserved to die. He's got... If he dies...
He has to be substantiated when he dies. He can't just fucking die.
He can't. Yeah, I mean, that... Backlash even for me. And I agree, what's that count? But if I'm one person, there's a million, one for each of us, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, people will fucking go crazy. Will go crazy if Tyrion dies too. So yeah, they had to bring back Jon. It made sense, and it was a glorious moment.
Yes, yes. Now, with that being said, with these characters, like, there's certain characters that he needs to keep alive. I feel like it might be like poor writing for these characters to just stay dead. But this is George R. R. Martin. He just kills dudes. So,
have you ever seen the picture of all the books stacked on one of another with Post-its in it? And each time there's a Post-it, it's because somebody died. So if you imagine like stacks of books this big, there seems to be like 100 or something Post-its. Like, you could see more Post-its than book, and it's like, no, he does. If he feels like that's where his universe is going, if that's where he wants his toys, if you will, in his own sandbox to go, he has every right to. But fucking A, please don't kill Jon Snow, Daenerys, or Tyrion for real. Let me see how they end.
Their deaths have to, like, the
like
character...
you were talking about at the very
the
beginning.
The characters have to be done when they die.
Yeah, like you were saying at the beginning, it's just the way the story goes, beginning, middle, end. If you just end it to end it and awe factor, shock factor...
It's not a good story.
Not an actual end.
Yeah, it's not a good story.
It's just, yes. Agreed.
Eddard's death had a meaning. It had a point. It worked. It wasn't for the
Very
shock.
hard to have the rest of the books without it. Yeah.
Yes, it wasn't for shock factor, but it was shocking.
Correct. Rob's is a little bit shocked. I don't really know if we could have kept the war going. I feel there's so much.
The whole thing is like when Robb Stark died, I didn't really give a fuck
because Ned was the first.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, Rob's gonna die at some point. Something's gonna happen. He's not in the books. He never gets his own chapter. In the show, like things are petering out. He doesn't think of the phrase, but I just like felt like there was something about his character that I knew he wasn't gonna make it. That's how it seemed like that's how he was written. Now, if the way Robb died, I felt like, okay, that was... No, it didn't do anything for me. I didn't think it was... Okay, cool, it changed things. It changed the story drastically. There stopped being a war when he died, but...
Yeah.
Now the story's different, but at the end of the day, okay, Robb's dead. How does this change things?
Now what?
Yeah, his story wasn't as big as Jon Snow's story or Tyrion's story or Daenerys' story. Now, let Daenerys die at some point in the season. I'd be like, well, what is it? There's kind
too many other questions.
There's kind of no show left after this because we're all waiting for her to come back to Westeros. Yes. Jon Snow, if Jon Snow actually had stayed dead, I'm like, okay, well, I don't really give a fuck what's going on at the wall anymore. I feel
We
like
need to know what's happening at the wall because that's where
He's
winter is coming from. That's where the action's coming from. The eventual end of the book has got to be them taking on White Walkers.
if Bran Stark died, I'd be like, well, now what are they doing? What is this magic thing going? What's that whole aspect?
Arya can't die. Yeah, I mean,
If Arya Stark died, I'd
it seems
stop.
like they're
I'd
more
walk away
locked
from the
into these
series altogether.
characters. Yeah,
I'd walk away from the series altogether. She's my favorite character.
that's true.
She has to do something big before she dies.
She won't. But again, it's George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
Only time will tell, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's all the time we have, actually, for this episode.
Of Gluttons for Geekdom.
I had a lot of fun this episode. Again, sir, good to have you back. Nice to see you sitting here. Missed you.
I missed you too.
But the one thing that Mr. Roy actually helped us with, and you could see it in this episode, is at Gluttonous Geeks, guys, we got to promote ourselves so you know where to go. We need to hear from you. We want to hear from you. At
Please.
Gluttonous Geeks, we were talking about it earlier. No BS. We want to know more what you guys are thinking. We want to conversate more and get your answers, get your questions answered efficiently, and just get you more involved.
Throw your ideas at us. We will catch them and we will work with them.
That's it, guys.
And we will promote them to the world.
And we'll run it into the ground, too.
Yeah.
Even after the point you're like, God, I wish I didn't even say anything. These guys are just taking it too far. We'll wait for that point and go 10 miles longer and still run it into the ground, guys. Whatever you want. We're here to service you as well.
Gluttons for Geekdom. We love you guys.